Hi, I want to talk to you today about ADHD, Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, ADHD. Now, for a long time, we've thought that ADHD mainly affects children and that it's something people grow out of over time. The more research has been done into this area, the more that we're finding that it actually continues on into adulthood. And children who have issues and problems at school, perhaps people of my generation who were just told, you're a naughty child or you're a disruptor in school, never really get the support or help that they need. And they learn to mask it, they learn coping mechanisms, but they never actually get to resolve the underlying issues because they don't get necessarily the counselling or the medication or the support they need. More and more people in the workplace are now being diagnosed as having ADHD, and even the diagnosis process, the waiting lists now in the UK are huge to get a NHS diagnosis for ADHD, because more and more parents have been taking their kids to get them diagnosed and going, actually, this is me as well. So it's causing quite an interesting conundrum in the workplace. ADHD is a disability, and therefore it's covered under the Equality Act, and it's something that employers absolutely must make reasonable adjustments for when dealing with their staff. So it's one of these things where it often gets weaponised if somebody's poor performing. But symptoms for ADHD can include impulsiveness, disorganisation, problems prioritising, poor time management, finding something else that's more important to do than the thing that they should be doing, problems focusing on a specific task, poor planning, very low threshold for tolerance, and people very often get very frustrated with others around them. Mood swings, there's a whole range of symptoms that can manifest in adults who've got ADHD. And Awareness Month is exactly that. It's to help the employees and the employers become aware of the condition, understand that people with the condition aren't just being difficult for the sake of being difficult, but also understanding it's a protected characteristic, and employers have an obligation to work with their staff to find the best way in which that employee can work and be productive. And people with ADHD have amazing qualities and skills that, if they're harnessed properly, can be absolute assets to your organisation. People don't need a diagnosis to be protected. They just need to identify as having ADHD. If one of your staff comes to you and says, I think I've got ADHD, or I've just had a diagnosis, or I have ADHD, that's going to cause you concern. I get that. I absolutely get that. But how you respond is really important. Go, that's great. Let's sit down. Let's have a conversation. What do you need? How can we help you? What do you want from this working relationship? It's not all one-sided. You have to control that environment. But given the right people who get and want to work for your business in the right way, that's an asset you need to harness. ADHD Awareness Month, October. What are you going to do to support those around you with ADHD?